So, sexual transmutation is probably the most powerful weapon a man has, but almost no man uses it. Most guys will sit here and they'll waste tons of energy chasing women, scrolling, texting, begging, swiping all day long, using all of that fire and all of that hunger thrown away on validation. And what do you get back in return, guys? Nothing. See, but the top man, they take that same energy and they redirect it. Instead of chasing, they're building. And see, that drive, it now turns into a business where you're selling a product, a software, a service, right? Something that makes money while the rest of the world is still thirsting on Instagram. See, that discipline for a man is what gets him the dub. It's what gets him that win. They're not a slave to their lusts. They take that power and they convert it into status and freedom, and most importantly, respect. I want you to know that women will always be there. It took me a while to realize this. But the man who masters his energy and doesn't put a lot of effort into chasing women, if you build up a lifestyle so attractive, woman will always be there.
Yo, what up, YouTube? Welcome to Sinn-Take, man. My name is Sin. Coming back with another one, man. Listen, man, y'all see that sun somewhere in the backdrop. Y'all see it back there, man. That means we getting through the day, we making way and we don't play. So hopefully y'all having yourselves a good day thus far, you know what I mean? You know, I'm in the final stretch of this thing on my last break. You know, just wanted to come out here and holler at y'all real quick, man. You know, hopefully the truck noises in the background ain't too much, but man, listen. I just want to tell y'all though, man, for any of y'all that's out here, you know, you hitting that gym, you trying to build muscle and all of that, bro. I'm here to tell you that releasing your life force energy is gonna destroy your gains, bro. It's gonna destroy your gains. All of that you trying to build, all of that you may have worked hard for, you know, during the week, during that month, you know, the last 6 months, whatever the case may be, bro. If you keep busting, it's gonna destroy all those gains, man. You know, because it's gonna deplete your energy. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna deplete your focus. It's gonna deplete your vitamins and nutrients. Listen, it's gonna take away your drive, bro. So guess what? The more you keep doing it, that's the more that goes. That's the more that falls. Your muscles start falling away. You know what I mean? Your energy gonna fall away. You know, your focus and thought process, the traction that you gained is just gonna fall off, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not stopping. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm not just talking about, you know, just one day. I'm talking about over time. You know, but yeah, bro, that one time could mess you up too. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to be too busy feeling bad about yourself. You're going to feel horrible. You know what I mean? And it's just going to make you feel like you don't want to do nothing. You know what I mean? You don't want to do nothing, bro. When I realized, man, I'm telling you, that little weak voice be in the back of my mind telling me not to go to the gym, not to get up. You know what I mean? Not to go to work. Like I told y'all earlier, just make you not want to do nothing. Just make you want to just sit there and wallow in your sorrows. And anytime you do that, bro, like, listen, you know, you're not bouncing back. You know what I'm saying? You're not bouncing back. So, you know, you feeding right into the hands of the enemy, the adversary, the flesh. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you listen to that voice, you know, so listen, bro. You know, when you make a bad choice, your best bet, the best thing you could do is just get up and just do what needs to be done. You know, that's how you really bounce back, man. But understand, man, listen, all that work that you're putting in, you know, it's hard to keep, you know, if you keep on depleting yourself of the things that your body need. You know what I'm saying? Because not only coming from that standpoint, bro, Like once you start triggering those dopamine receptors, man, listen, it could even make you start eating bad. Because now your brain wants more of that feeling. Your body wants more of that feeling. Your flesh wants more of that feeling. So guess what? If it can't get it from fapping, it's going to want it from sugar. It's going to want it from salty stuff. It's going to want it from social media. Just a bunch of things that's just no good for you. It ain't no good for your mind. It ain't no good for your spirit. It ain't no good for your eyes, your health, your walk, your purpose, any of those things. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no good for any of those things. So how you supposed to build anything or gain anything, when you in that mind frame? But that's just what it does. You know what I mean? That's what it does. That's what sin do. It just opened up the doorway for more BS. Truthfully, that's just what it do. So in that sense, it's going to destroy all your gains, bro. It's going to make it hard for you to build and expound upon anything. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no building when it comes to sin. It ain't no building when it comes to darkness. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no building when it comes to the flesh, because of what we know the flesh will make you a mess. And the more you keep feeding it, the worse you get. The more you keep feeding it, the worse you get. The more it take away from you. Because the last time I checked, when it comes to the flesh, it don't give you nothing back. The only thing you get back when it comes to the flesh is temporary stuff. A temporary feeling. And that's why once you get caught up in that lifestyle, bro, it just won't mix with fitness. I told y'all that before. It won't mix with fitness. It won't mix with gaining or building anything. Because one thing you learn about building muscle, one thing you learn about building a business, one thing you learn about building a house or anything, bro, is that you learn delayed gratification, because it's not going to be overnight. It's not going to be overnight. So understand, bro, like when you feed into, stuff like corn, when you feed into the flesh and all of that stuff, it's all just like that. It's all quick, like a $2 hoe. And for any of y'all that then smash something quickly, you kind of feel, you don't feel right afterwards because you got it a little bit too easy. You know what I'm saying? So once you like really start to love yourself and, you really, figure out who you are and, you respect your energy, you respect your time, you're not going to want nothing quick and easy. You're going to realize that stuff ain't no good for you, just like fast food. You know what I mean? You got to compare the two. Like, listen, it's just like a $2 hoe, feeding the flesh. You know what I'm saying? Fapping. It's just like fast food, bro. And what do you feel after you eat it? You never feel full. You never feel satiated. You never feel satisfied. You know what I mean? You just feel nasty. You feel greasy like the burger. You know what I mean? You feel sloppy. You feel like you don't want to do nothing. And on top of that, you still feel hungry. And when you continue to feed it, the more weight you gain. You know what I'm saying? The more you stay the same, the more you never change. And meanwhile, all that's happening is destroying your walk. It's destroying your walk with Yahusha. It's destroying your relationship with Yahuwah, because he don't want you living like that. The son don't want you living like that. Yahusha don't want you. He didn't put in all that work and make all them sacrifices just for you to just give into temporary pleasure. You know what I mean? But so many people do it just on a daily basis. But not putting the two together. That's why you so big. That's why you gain so much weight. You know what I mean? That's why, you always tired. That's why you have no energy. That's why good people, spiritual people don't want nothing to do with you, bro, because they can sense that around you. They can sense that you don't want much out of life. They can sense that you don't really love yourself, bro. You know what I'm saying? They can sense that you are of the world. You love temporary things and you're not willing to work. You know what I'm saying? For the things that you really want in life. You know what I'm saying? You ever get that from people? You just can You could sense that in people as soon as they come in the room. And then a lot of people be like, man, you can't judge a book by its cover. I understand that. But your appearance will say a lot, and then once you pair that like a Bluetooth, once you pair that like a Bluetooth, you pair, the appearance of people with their energy. It's going to lock in real quick. And as soon as you feel it, you don't want nothing to do with them. You don't want nothing to do with them type of women. You don't want nothing to do with them type of people. You don't want nothing to do with that type of energy, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, bro, understand. Listen, it's hard for you to build muscle. It's hard for you to build anything, a good relationship, anything. Once you feeding your flesh out here, once you releasing your life force energy out here, because it's better in you than outside of you. You know what I'm saying? But this world want to take it away so bad, don't they? Go look at your timeline. Go on Instagram. Go on X. Look at these commercials. Look at these TV shows. They want to extract your energy so bad because they don't want you to have it. They know you a superhero once you build that energy. They know you a superhero when you on this journey. They know you a superhero when you locked in with the Most High. When you have the Ruach, the Holy Spirit. They know you a superhero because you at your best when you have that. But when you don't have it, listen, bro, you at your less. When you don't have it, you at your less. But when you have your life force energy, you at your best. When you don't have it, you at your less. And when you at your less, man, you will never be blessed, man. So understand, bro, anytime you trying to build something out here, bro, listen, you're going to need your life force energy to do it. Because that's where a lot of your focus going to come from. That's where a lot of your personality come from. That's where you able to put your real DNA, your real thumbprint on life. You know what I'm saying? You got kids, that's where you put your real DNA. That's your kid. You want to match that. You want to listen. You want to give them as much wisdom. You want to give them as much, energy as possible. And how else can you do that, bruh? That's by being you. And when you have your life force energy, bruh, that's you being you. And you ever so true. Because that's what the Most High gave you, bruh. He didn't give it to you to enslave you, bruh. But a lot of times, man, the devices of this world will do just that. And we all can testify to that. And it ain't no reason to be ashamed out here because of it. It's just the sins of the flesh. But guess what? We can rise above that. You know what I'm saying? Yahusha said we could rise above that. Our Father said we could rise above that. So if you really trust and believe in the Most High, lock in with him. He gonna show you. He show you better than he could tell you. And he gonna tell you too, but he'll show you even better. You know what I'm saying? He show you even better because he better. He is the best. He is the most marvelous, man. Listen, that's why you can't just be giving into the things out here in this matrix. It's all, they should call it the fake tricks. You know what I mean? Forget the matrix. This should be the fake tricks because everything out here fake. You know what I mean? They want to deceive you and make you think that this is it. This is all. But no, they don't want you to be able to discern spiritual things. So guess what? When you lock in with the Most High, you will be able to discern spiritual things and you realize that there's a lot more to life than the things that this world have to offer. So remember that moving forward, all right? And that's my word, man. My name is Sinn and Sinn-Take. Holla at y'all later, man. Peace.